So yeah, I'm just jumping in to do a live. 'Cause I saw it come up in a few different places. So I hope you're doing good. I'm probably also gonna end up doing a separate video on this, but the spirit came up, hit me to sort of like do a live about this. So I'm actually gonna go through this article by Variety. So first off, I don't really know how I feel about this, so I really don't know. I'm gonna read for this whole article by Variety. So, Warner Brothers Pictures is revamping the Lord of the Rings film franchise. On a Thursday earnings call, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Slav announced that newly installed studio leaders Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi have brokered a deal to make multiple films based on the beloved J.R.R. Tolkien books. The projects will be developed through WB label New Line Cinema. The first Lord of the Rings trilogy, helmed by Peter Jackson, grossed nearly $3 billion worldwide. Jackson's follow-up trilogy, based on Tolkien's The Hobbit, matched those grosses. No filmmakers have been attached to the projects as yet, but in a statement to Variety, Jackson and his main Lord of the Rings collaborators, Fran Walsh and Philippa Bowen, said Warner Brothers and Embracer have kept us in the loop every step of the way. We look forward to speaking with them further to hear their vision for the franchise moving forward, Jackson, Walsh, Bowen said. Freemode, a division of Embracer Group, made the adaptive rights deal for books, including The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The pact will be billed under the name Middle-earth Enterprises. Notably, DeLuca and Abdi left MGM last year to take the helm of Warner Brothers. Their exit followed the acquisition of MGM by Amazon. The tech giant owns the TV rights to The Lord of the Rings and produced a single season of television at the gut-busting price of over $450 million in 2022. So I'm just breaking this up, and I think like my gut feeling is that the movies that are going to come out are not going to be as good as the Jackson movies. That's my gut feeling. Following our recent acquisition of Middle-earth Enterprises, we're thrilled to embark on this new collaborative journey with New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Pictures, bringing the incomparable world of J.R.R. Tolkien back to the big screen in new and exciting ways, said Lee Ginchard, CEO of Freemode. At this point, new and exciting ways, it just brings up a lot of fear in me. We understand how cherished these works are, and working together with our partners at New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Pictures, we plan to honor the past, look to the future, and adhere to the strongest level of quality and production values. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of like PC mumbo jumbo, and it really doesn't entice me to really want to watch it. It's really not very enticing so far. I don't think they're going to outdo Jackson. I don't see it happening. So DeLuca and Abdi recalled the New Line had previously took an unprecedented leap of faith to realize the incredible stories, characters in the world of the Lord of the Rings on the big screen. But for all the scope and detail lovingly packed into the two trilogies, the vast, complex, and dazzling universe dreamed up by J.R.R. Tolkien remains largely unexplored. I don't know, even the way they're talking about it, I think it really also kind of like brings up a lot of maybe fear in me, because like when I look at what happened with the Rings of Power, and then the way they talk about largely unexplored, my first thought is they're going to put a bunch of things on the screen that weren't necessarily envisioned by Tolkien. That's just my first off feeling. So inaugural projects and timelines were not immediately disclosed. Yeah, I think they're not disclosed because you guys are just going to make it up. But I mean, that's just my take on it. I could be completely wrong. So the first Jackson trilogy starred Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, Sean Astin, and Kate Blanchett. That trio of films was nominated for 30 Academy Awards and took home 17 trophies, including Best Picture for 2003, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Warner Brothers has a packed upcoming slate. To round out the second quarter, Shazam! Fury of the Gods will arrive in a matter of weeks. Kicking off the summer is Ezra's The Flash, followed by hotly anticipated Barbie from director Greta Gerwig and stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. In August, Jason Statham will face a prehistoric shark yet again in Meg 2: The Trench, and New Line will roll out DC's Blue Beetle. The end of the year will bring a big hit of Timothée Chalamet, first in Dune Part 2, then in the Candyman origin story Wonka. The musical The Color Purple will close out the year, as will Jason Momoa in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. On a side note, it looks like the Lost Kingdom is probably not such a great movie, I guess, according to Momoa, because supposedly he doesn't want to return as Aquaman, so I found that interesting. And I think like my first gut feeling about really these new movies, and I'm just basing it on what they said, is I kind of suspect that WB is going to do their version of the Rings of Power. That's my gut feeling. I really shouldn't project that onto them, but that's my gut feeling, and that's really based on a lot of the fear that Hollywood's been coming out with the last 4 or 5 years. I don't really know that I think they're going to come up with something comparable to even what Jackson did, and Jackson took some liberties himself. So I don't know that I'm really excited by that. I think, to be honest, I'm more excited by the manga version of the War of Rohirrim, or even some of the other things that are going to come out directly from Embracer that are not going to be tied from Hollywood. I'm kind of more open to those. So that's just my 2 cents off the top of my head. I'm planning to do a video that's going to be a little bit longer, and then I'm probably going to do a live either tomorrow or Saturday, and I want to do some reading again. I'll just be reading from Tolkien. Thanks you guys for watching. You guys have a great night wherever you are. Peace.